Hey guys, welcome to Dollar Diva's Coloring World. Nisi here, back with another video. And I'm very excited, guys, to bring you this review video. This will be a review video for the One Pix watercolor brush pens. You have 24 colors, and guys, it's been just an absolute joy to work with these brush pens, guys. They were sent to me by the lovely folks at One Pix to review and do a video and bring these to you guys. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to start off by saying these are just solely my personal opinions, and this is what I have found, while working with these pens. This is not a sponsored video. I was just sent the product to test them out and bring them to you so you can decide whether you would like to take advantage of these watercolor brush pens. And I will also be doing a little demonstration showing you how I use them in my adult coloring books. So guys, this is my honest opinion, nothing extra, because you know that the Dollar Diva wants for you to get the best out of the budget-friendly coloring world, okay? We don't want any, crappy stuff, So guys, I have thoroughly tested these watercolor brush pens out to find out my likes and my dislikes, and that is what I'm about to bring to you today, okay? So first and foremost, let's start off by taking them out of the package. So it comes in this just basic little case here where you can leave them in this case if you like, or you can take them out and put them in a pencil case or something else, that they will fit in. And I'm OCD, so I have to have some order here. So all of you that flew to the other side, you got to go back to your little hiding places, okay? So here are the pens. There are 24 colors, and they come with this watercolor brush pen here, which is your standard watercolor or water brush pen. And the barrels, I'll do this red one here. The barrels are just standard black matte barrels. It's a pretty thick barrel, so it's really comfortable to actually hold this pen and work with it. And there's no names or color names or anything on the actual barrel, but the color of the pen is on the end. And I must say, unlike other watercolor brush pens that I do have, the ends are pretty much dead on to the actual color of the ink, okay, or the actual watercolor. So a lot of watercolor brush pens that I already own, they have like the color on the end or something, and the color is absolutely totally different. So One Pix did a really good job, and the color is also right here on the tip once you take the top off and look at it that way. So that's a bonus. I love that. Another thing I love is the tips on these. They don't fray very easily. They're very good quality. I like the way when I've used them. I've had these guys for probably a month, and I wanted to thoroughly test them out and see if they were going to dry out really fast or all that good stuff before I brought them to you. So I've had them. I've been loving working with them. They are still, as you say, juicy and full of ink and pigment. The colors are very vibrant, and they have not frayed on me. They've stayed very sharp. There we go. And the points and the ink is still very vibrant and very opaque. So let's see, what else do I love about these pens? They're very blendable. And like I said, vibrant colors. The other ones that I have, the colors are not this vibrant. They are more transparent. I did a review video for some other watercolor brush pens, and they're more transparent. I did a picture with those, and they're more, you know, kind of watercolory. These are way more color intense. And I think they're actually the least expensive watercolor brush pens that I've seen on the market so far. Now, the only thing I do not like about these watercolor brush pens, which is not a huge deal, is that there is no color name. You know, I'm a stickler for color names being on my pencils, but the reason why it's not such a big deal, because they've done such a good job in matching the colors to the tips and the ends that I really don't have to have a color name. I can just look at it and say, oh, okay, that's the color that I use, because the colors are pretty much the same. So that's not even really a negative against them. So guys, without further ado, let me go ahead and just get into the demonstrating them for you guys. So this is the book that I chose to test them out in. I have not tested them in a regular coloring book. I wanted to try them and give them the fairest shot, because the purpose of these brush pens are to work with watercolor paper. So, I mean, they are a wet media. So the fairest shot would be in a watercolor coloring book, right? Because, you know, it wouldn't be fair to test them out in a book that wasn't intended for their original use. But, of course, you know the Dollar Diva, she will be trying them out in a regular coloring book at some point for you guys, because I know that's more than likely something that you would be interested in, right? If you would be interested in that, leave it in the comments below and let me know. Okay, guys, so here is the picture that I have been working with these lovely, lovely, lovely watercolor brush pens. And guys, I have been just amazed at what these pens have been able to do. Now, they are a tiny bit of a learning curve. When I first started using them, I was trying to do more of the blending. I was trying to just lay color down and then do more of the blending with the actual water brush. But actually, how you use these, guys, is you do most of your blending and layering and all of that good stuff with the actual markers. So it doesn't take a lot of ink to get your colors, because you're so vibrant and pigmented. So I'll just give you a quick demonstration of what I'm talking about. So since I started, well, no, I won't do that leaf over there. I'll start on a fresh leaf over here and kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about, so that you can know how to use these pens. So let me zoom you guys in so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. Now, let's get my colors together here. Okay, so I know I want to use the yellow. I know I want to use this kind of light green and this medium green color. So, of course, you know, I like to work from dark to light. So I'm taking the medium color green. This is like not the darkest color green, but this is like right in the middle of the greens. So here it is right here. It's that color green right there. And I'm going to kind of, now you have to use these kind of like you're using a paintbrush. It's definitely like painting. So your strokes need to be kind of definitely light, and take advantage of that awesome tip. That's another thing that I like about these. The tips are so pointed, and you know, sometimes you get different budget watercolor brush pens and the tips are kind of frayed. Well, in these they aren't. And I really, really like that. So even if you go out of the lines a little bit, that's okay, because that gives even more depth to your watercolor look. So do all of your little outlines, even your little outline on there. Now you see how it's not really blended. Or if I put another color on top, which I'm going to take this lighter green here, and you see it's kind of, you see the lines. You see the lines of demarcation, okay? So what I was doing at first, I'm going to go ahead and put my yellow down also, so you can see what I'm talking about. We're going to put that yellow right here in the middle, and we can leave some white there, because when we get to blending, when we start to blending with our water brush, you'll see everything kind of come together. Okay, so just to give you an example, if I was to leave this like this, okay, where you see everything is kind of not blended together, and I take my water brush and I just go over it. I'm just scrubbing on top of it, trying to blend everything together. It's actually blending pretty good. It's actually blending pretty good. So, yeah, it's blending pretty good, but it's still not, I think, as smooth as I would like it. Oh yeah, I see what I'm talking about now. It's actually blending pretty good. That's a pretty good blend. And then you just take your napkin or paper towel or whatever and just kind of clean your water brush off. Now, to make this a more seamless and beautiful blend, you're going to take either your yellow or your lighter green color, and you're going to go back in very lightly and go around this blend here very lightly so that you can make it more seamless. Okay. And now I'll take my yellow, my lightest color, and go in the middle here. And see how that's making it just seamless, like a beautiful seamless blend. That's what I meant by you have to use the actual markers to do a lot of the blending. Now, can you see it, guys? Is it focusing for you? There we go. So you see how it's kind of, it's not as blended as I would like it. So I'm going to take the middle green and just go back in. And you just keep adding layers and doing this until you are satisfied with the blend and the color. There we go. That's what I like to see right there. And then you can take your water brush and blend it a little bit more. The purpose of the water brush is not to actually initially blend the colors. It's only to kind of melt the colors together. That's what I would say the purpose of the water brush is. Not to actually blend the colors and, you know, because at first what I was doing, now I'm taking the even darker green here and doing this other leaf. At first what I was doing was I was pretty much kind of scrubbing, trying to blend the colors. I would do like a hard color, not a hard blend, but I would just lay down rigid colors, you know? The lines of demarcation were very rigid. And what I really like about the watercolor brush pens is you really can't go wrong with them. It would appear like you're messing things up. And here's my medium grain again. It would appear like you're messing things up and like it's not looking right, but you can just take your water brush pen and just make it right. I'm taking a lighter green here instead of the yellow and putting it there in the middle. Now I will take my water brush and just kind of go in circles and just melt circles and lines, both, just whatever you feel like doing, and just try to melt those colors together a little bit. I was scrubbing too much, trying to blend them together, when I was like, I finally realized that's not what it's supposed, that's not how it's supposed to work. So I'm going to take this lighter green here and kind of try to melt these colors together a little bit. I'm like, okay, the water brush pen is not intended to blend the colors together. That's what the different colors are intended to do. They're, you know, they're supposed to put the colors together like that. Okay. So do you guys see what I'm talking about there? So that's how you would do the leaves. And like I said, it's okay if, you know, you go outside of the lines a little bit, because that adds to the watercolor effect. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys how I do that kind of fall leaf that I did with the yellow and this kind of brown color and the orange. I'm going to show you how I achieved that one, because it's fall time and I know you guys are going to be coloring a lot of fall beautiful leaves and everything, the changing colors. So we are going to work on this leaf here. Okay, so what I did was I took this kind of ochre green looking marker here and just outline it. You can be pretty messy, and that's what I really like. You can be kind of messy with it. You don't have to be precise. It's like watercolor painting. The most fun part of painting and is the messiness aspect of it. You get to be messy like a kid, right? So all you have to do is super duper easy watercoloring, right? It's just kind of outline in the places where you see the dark lines. So you see I've outlined it, and we're going to go all the way in here. You can get in little tiny areas by lifting up the pressure of your pen, and then by kind of going straight up and down with the pen tip, you can get into little tiny areas with your marker, your pen, your brush pen. So the next color I used was a kind of like this lighter orange color. Is that the right one? No, that one's too bright. I think it's this orange color. Yeah, that's it. And then just go right beside all of the lines that you colored. Try not to go like color every little piece of white. Leave some white there so that we can put some yellow inside of there. Now put the yellow in all of the rest of the white areas, and you can actually go over like the whole thing if you like to kind of blend it out. Okay, so now you're going to get your water brush pen and go over all of that color, just on top of it, just like you're coloring with a crayon, like you're straight coloring. And that's another good thing. It's kind of like straight coloring, which is super easy. but you get all of these blends super easily, okay? And what I really, really like about these markers is the water does not dilute the color, like take it away. It's like take away the vibrancy of it. All right, there we go. Wipe my brush off. Now I'm going to take a lighter color. Let's see. Do I want to do the yellow or I better do the lightest color. So I'm going to take this yellow and I'm going to go over like maybe all of it so that it can have more of a blend. A little bit better blend. Because remember, you're blending with color. You're not blending with that water. It's almost like the water gives a base. You know, it gives the color, the second layer of color, something to grab onto when you get ready to do it. So another thing that I like about it is when you put down one layer of color and then you come back with your second layer, the color does not transfer from the paper to the pen. So that's a wonderful thing. I absolutely, absolutely love that about it. Now to finish this off, I'm going to take the brown and very lightly give these lines a little crisping. Very lightly. Just a little bit. Yes, there we go. Use that brown, that dark brown there. So, guys, what do you think? What do you think? I think that is super easy. You cannot beat that with a 10-foot stick. Oh, goodness. So, that's the demonstration of the leaves, how I achieved that. Now, wasn't that super easy and quick? How awesome, okay? So, let's see. What else did I want to tell you guys about these pens? I've absolutely, completely forgot. Let me zoom you out so you can see the picture. The picture. Isn't that beautiful? I'll go ahead and finish these leaves over here while I'm here with you guys. Let's see, that one over there I want to be super, super light. So I'm going to take my lighter green. Let's see, this green here is super light, right? Okay, yeah. We'll just do that lighter green and yellow. We'll just do the two colors and see how, well, not even yellow. I'll use this neon color, like this neon green color here, and see how that pan out. And see, I go over the whole thing a little bit because I'm not looking to really blend with my water brush pen. Okay, clean that off. All right, so I think I want that one behind it to be a tad bit darker. And I think I would like to get this green here. And I think I'll blend it out with a yellow. Now let's take that water brush pen and just go all the way over it, over everything. Now let's get a green. and go on top. Yeah. I like. And if it doesn't turn out perfectly, guys, don't worry. Watercoloring is not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to have some imperfections to it where you can see, you know, outside of the lines and blurred and all that kind of stuff. So, but one suggestion I'd like to give you, if you can see the differences between these two leaves here, this one is more crisp. This one is more blurred and kind of, you know, spread. What happened was I waited till this leaf kind of dried before I did my outlining. And this one, it was still wet. Like the paper was still wet and it kind of expanded the ink on this leaf here. But that's okay. I like them both. They give kind of, you know, a different dimension to each one of them. So guys, that is my review for these watercolor brush pens by One Pix. And I will leave a link below of the Amazon link that you can purchase these watercolor brush pens. And it won't be an affiliate link. It'll be the link that the ones at One Pix that what they requested that I leave the link to be able to purchase these at a good rate. And I think they still have their coupons going on, so for a limited time. So jump on over there and get you guys these watercolor brush pens if you're looking for an easy way to do watercoloring, guys. And make sure you use watercolor paper with your watercolor pens. I'm not quite sure how they would react in just a regular coloring book. But you know, lots of us have watercolor coloring book or thick paper, and a lot of us have like we print out things on watercolor paper because that's what I usually do if I want to use watercolor on something. But I probably will be doing a video on these showing you how they work in regular coloring books because they don't take a lot of water to use, and then they're water-based, so they won't bleed. They shouldn't bleed. So they should work great in regular coloring books. So I just wanted to remind you guys, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to my channel so that I can know that you guys are enjoying these videos. And if you check out the description box below, I will link my influencer for Amazon. If you guys would like to purchase anything, it's free of charge. You're not charged when you use my affiliate links or when you go through my Amazon influencer. Now, what the Amazon influencer is whenever you want to go to Amazon and you want to help me out with a few pennies, they compensate me for using that influencer link when you can go through that link and then you can just go purchase whatever you want. And then they'll give me a couple of pennies on every dollar just because you were trying to support me and the Dollar Diva family and the channel by using that influencer link. But there's no extra cost to use, so it's absolutely free. But there will be a link below to purchase these, which is a non-affiliate link like I mentioned before. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video and for joining me on this journey of Dollar Divas bargain hunting and reviewing this wonderful product of these One Pix watercolor brush pens. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and you know what you have to do and what you have to be. Happy